welcome to my channel. Limiting beliefs, how your sort of perception of your limiting beliefs are what is holding you back more so than this belief. I don't really like the term limiting belief. I mean, it is a fact, isn't it? But it just kind of feels limiting when we say the word limiting belief. We are almost affirming we have limits. And there's a very, very simple way that we can deal with these. I've learned this over the years, that it doesn't matter what it is that you're intending or wanting, keeping it simple is best. And that's exactly the same when it goes for anything like this, anything that's holding us back. So what is a limiting belief? It's anything that's in contradiction to the life that you want. So anything you feel or you believe is in contradiction to what you want, you would class as a limiting belief. But let's try and stop calling them limiting beliefs. Let's just start calling them nonsense beliefs. Okay, something different. So what you're going to do is pull out those beliefs that you have and tell yourself that they are not true. So do each one individually and state not true. So what's happening when you're doing that? You are sending a clear signal to your subconscious. You are instructing your subconscious that this is not a fact. This is not true, because it isn't. Nothing is true. You're doing that, and then you are setting the intention that this particular belief, this particular nonsense belief is going to start dissolving. That's all you need to do. That's all I do. If there's anything that comes up, I think, oh wow, yeah, I can feel that. That's all I do. Everything I do in my life with manifestation is kept really, really simple, because I know the harder I try, the least likely I am to succeed. So that's all that you need to do. When we make a huge deal of anything, we have the frequency of it and we have the vibration of it, which is that bodily feeling that we have that makes us really, really aware of it. So when we're super aware of, oh my God, I have this limit. So you might have a limiting belief that love isn't meant for you. It's only meant for other people. Now that's huge, isn't it? But it's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. Again, don't call it a limiting belief. Call it a nonsense belief. It's not true. I intend for this feeling to dissolve. You know, keeping it simple is best. You could just write it down, and then you could write down the opposite of that underneath, what you would like to feel. Either way, all you're doing is sending the signal to your subconscious mind, and it is going to deal with it, because that is what it does. You may have heard me talk about this before. I talk to my subconscious all of the time. If anything comes up that's holding me back, I'll just ask my subconscious to get rid of it, to deal with it for me, and then I'll just leave it alone. And then I'll find a few days later, I don't feel it anymore. Something has happened to show me that it's gone, because I'm not trying hard. Trying hard pushes whatever it is further away. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a relationship, a job, a house, a car, a belief, anything. It doesn't matter. There is no differentiation with the universe. I don't know if that's the right word, but everything is the same, whatever it is. So whether it's a thing that you want, a change that you want to make to your personality, a change that you want to make to your inner self, anything, the more you try, the harder you push it, the less likely you are to see sustainable results, because you're in try hard energy, and try hard energy is a push energy, and a push energy just makes that thing, whatever it is, move further away. And limiting beliefs aren't any different than anything else. So we're going to change it. Nonsense beliefs. Nonsense beliefs. So every time you kind of are aware of this feeling that you have, this belief that you have, just call it nonsense, and then state to yourself limitless. That's another great power word. So you're not going to go I am limitless, because we do have resistance often when we say I am, when we're really not feeling that in the moment. But if you just use the term limitless, you have all of the energy of that word, all of the power of that word, without having to say I am. And it doesn't matter, because you've still got it. You've still got the frequency of it when you say it. So just say it on and off when you feel like it. Limitless, limitless, limitless. You can say it with real intention, because you want to feel limitless, but you don't want to say I am, because you don't want to cause any kind of inner conflict. So if you just say the word, what's that? Doesn't mean anything as such, does it? You've got the power of the word without any resistance. Now, what I would suggest that you do, and you know that I like scales a lot, is before you start doing this, measure yourself on a scale. So each belief that you have that is holding you back, measure yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. How much do I think this? Is it 7? Is it 8? Is it 9? Is it 10? So 10 being really, really, really feel it. So you start off by doing that. So I would suggest then that you you forget about that for a week after you've done it, and you go back to it the following week and you bring it up again and you measure yourself again on the scale. Has anything changed? Have I gone down the scale slightly? Which is what I would hope that you would do, because you've set a strong intention, and it doesn't matter if you're not observing it constantly, you are just kind of monitoring it to see where the changes come. Now, as soon as you notice that something isn't as strong as it was, you think, well, I think I might have shifted a little bit here, I wouldn't worry about it again then, because once you start to shift, it's going to keep shifting. You don't need to keep going back to it again. You might want to do it for, say, a month, once a week for a month, to see how far you come down that scale. But actually, you don't need to. As soon as you start feeling a shift, it's started to happen. A shift, a tiny shift inside is a huge shift on the outside. Huge changes can occur from just a really minute shift on the inside. So don't think that you have to go from 10 down to 1, because you don't. But that is just a good way of kind of noticing that changes are happening, but you don't have to do that again. The intention is enough. The intention with feeling, reminding yourself it's nonsense. We don't keep doing it and sort of bringing it up and going nonsense belief, because again, then you are bringing it into your conscious awareness far more than you need to, and the less these things are in our conscious awareness, the less power they have. So the intention is enough. You do not need to affirm something out of your conscious awareness. You don't need to do that, and it's way more difficult, and it will probably take way longer to do like that, because you have this kind of resistance to it as well. When we're trying to rid ourselves of something, we're trying to push it out, what we are actually doing is including it in our lives. We are including it in our reality by trying to push it out, because we're more aware of it, so it's there in our conscious awareness. Right, I think I am going to stop this here, because this could kind of go off on a bit of a tangent. I wanted to keep this really specific and wanted to give you a technique, something that you can use in order to move you forward. Again, don't make such a big deal out of these things, because the bigger deal you make, the bigger deal they are. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, I'd love for you to do that. I am a coach and I am an author.